Jackie from Cronin's Clips.
And Nick.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the day we got off the ship, which is debarkation, disembarkation day.
It's where everybody gets sad and stressed.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, a little bit stressed. So that day you have breakfast. If you had the regular dining, it's really early. If you had the late dining, it's not as early. And then you eat breakfast in the restaurant that you had. They tell you all this, but in the restaurant that you had dinner the night before. So you're there with your wait staff. And I guess if you haven't given your wait staff their tip thing yet,
that's when you tip
can do. I think we did it at night.
Or stiff.
I guess a lot of people stop. A lot of people do give it the night before, I think, too. Because we did, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice breakfast. It's a little bit limited menu. If I have the menu, I'll pop it in here, but
but not bad.
Yeah. Oh dear, the cat just jumped on the thing.
I say we leave it in the video.
Just turn it a little bit.
There you go.
But yeah, pretty good, Petey. Mm-hmm. Pretty good breakfast.
Our cat is messing with our video stand thing.
I do have some pictures of the breakfast. I think I got the French toast. And there's like the farewell pancakes. I don't know. Eggs. DCL Express. Anyway, pretty good breakfast, but it's just so early. And then
it's not that early.
I mean, it's like 6.
It's like 6, yeah.
Something like that.
Most people get up at 6.
Yeah, but not like ready to get off the ship. But if you haven't finished packing up, I'm gonna sneeze. You were supposed to talk while I sneezed.
Oh, because that was obvious?
I thought so.
All right.
By the warning. So, you finish packing everything, and then I think you could probably go to breakfast and then put all your stuff in there, but the housekeeper wants to get to cleaning your room.
Yeah, they're I'm not saying they're hovering, but they are like ready to go clean that room. Yeah. So it is a hurry up and wait kind of day because you go. Where's the cat again? It's a hurry up and wait kind of day because you do wake up and you're out the door. You rush to the breakfast. They get you through breakfast because they're ready to get things moving, and then you leave breakfast and then go sit down.
Yeah, they're starting to call some of the things, but yeah, it took us a little while. But we just sat up in the 3rd floor of the atrium where where you could look down and see everybody leaving. I don't know where everybody else goes, but that was a pretty comfy place. It's just seats up there, and some people just stand around waiting for their thing to be called, and then it's like ready to get in line. But
go get comfortable.
But yeah, it was fine.
The only criticism to the whole process I give is I wish they would print, because they tell you you're Tinkerbell or whatever. They give you a character assignment, and I wish they would go like, here's the order we're calling these, so you know how much longer, give or take, how much longer you have.
That might have actually been somewhere.
Probably,
but we don't know.
Yeah, though I wish they'd put it somewhere like.
But they have in the past.
Hey, just go with numbers. It's cute to go Tinkerbell. Yeah. But we're boarding group number 1.
I think they used to have what?
Hey, we're 6. We know we got a minute.
What was?
We know we're next. I wish that was like, it drove me nuts the whole time where you kind of don't know if you're next. So that's my one thing.
And then one thing is you have to have your key to the world card to get off the ship, and we our youngest accidentally packed it in a suitcase, and so we had to go by
this one packed it in her suitcase.
So we had to go by the I think that, what's it called, the desk?
Guest services.
Guest services. You can say something. You want to say something about packing your
YouTuber?
No.
Bruh, never mind.
So we had to go by. I think it was pretty easy. We went with her.
We offended the teenager.
We went. She's not. She's 11, but she acts like a teenager. So you went with her to the guest services. It was pretty easy just to get in your car.
Yeah, no, that's you just. It's like it's happened before to them or something. Yeah, they were really like, oh, okay, and then they did. Here's
which is a lot easier than waiting until. I think we just did that after breakfast.
Yeah.
A lot easier than waiting until. You go to get off the ship and they're scanning everybody's card, and then one member of your party's like, I don't have a card. Then you have to go back to get services.
Yes, it takes 5 minutes. It's no big deal.
But so we got off pretty uneventfully. And then they direct you to. We were just taking an Uber, so they direct you in if you're taking the train, if you're taking, if you parked or wherever, and they directed everybody that was taking an Uber. It was more expensive, of course, because of course you're gonna be going, or a taxi.
We took a taxi.
It was a taxi. That's right.
But the taxi's like, here's the rates, so that was nice.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, because they're right there and they're ready for you. It's more expensive than if you took some other form of transportation, but we didn't have to just waited until everybody else got
Truth
a taxi.
be told,
but there's
take
just
a taxi. It's
constant
it's
cycle
super.
of taxis.
It's super easy. Yeah, just get in the car and tell them where you want to go.
Yeah, that's right. So we did that, and then it was a little ways to our hotel because we picked a hotel that was near the airport because we were flying out the next day. There's another cat, and our youngest also gets motion sick, so she had a little trouble getting there. But she got there just fine. It was later when she actually got more motion sick. But we stayed at the Abercorn Hotel, and the reason we stayed there and not back at the Residence Inn that we stayed in?
Yeah,
is because it was full when I went to. I was more concerned about getting the hotel for coming than I was about going, so I waited too long, and a bunch of other hotels were booked, which I might have been able to call Marriott or Hilton. But anyway, I found this one. I was like, well, it's not too far from the airport. But it was an older hotel. So it was, put a picture of it in here. But our youngest doesn't like the old hotels. So that was interesting. And then we had a screen fall out when we went to open the window. It was such a nice day. We went to open the window and it just fell out. And we told the front desk and they're like, oh, it's an old hotel. It's fine. We're like, okay, we'll just keep the screen in the room for you. So decent hotel if you're looking for somewhere to stay, but maybe not,
We were a 5-minute walk from Tim Hortons.
Yeah, so then we got our stuff down.
We were like, holy cow, we have to go check that out.
Yeah, so we put our stuff down. They had a room ready, like, after a little while. And we decided, it was a kind of a busy, like a highway or something, but walked across the street and then walked a little ways to Tim Hortons. And they have sandwiches and stuff. So you think of Tim Hortons, I think you think of coffee and breakfast food.
Yeah,
but they also
Dunkin'
had
Donuts.
Yeah, but they also had like sandwiches and things.
Yeah, it was good.
So that was good, and I wanted to do that
I
while
want one in Lake Charles. It was.
Yeah, we wanted to do that while we were in Canada. So
it's very Canadian.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we took an Uber from there to Stanley Park. We had seen they call it the Vancouver Aquarium. We'd seen that on the way in. Check out our Vancouver Aquarium video, but we wanted to check out more of Stanley Park. It's a little bit of a drive out from the airport back to where we were because we saw the cruise ship. Here's some pictures of that. We saw the wonder from Stanley Park. But it was nice to have our stuff secured and all that. But and then like I said, our youngest got a little motion sick on the way, so we had to have them stop. So
it's one of those
quickly.
If you've ever been driving with a drunk friend and they're like, "I need to pull over," and you're like, "Do you need to pull?" No, always pull over.
So we told the Uber we need to pull over here. We were right, not almost to where we asked him to. Like just almost to where we had him, but.
And to his credit, he was like, "We need to pull over." She's going to yak, and he's like, "Oh, yes."
I understand that.
Sorry.
I almost lost a kitty.
Scared the cat.
So we walked around. That there was a rose garden. I'm trying to think of what we first saw. Just a little walkway. There's like some monuments of Mr. Stanley or Colonel Stanley or somebody
of Stanley Cup fame. Is apparently.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what the tour guide said. I stood next to a tour.
Oh, yeah. There was like people doing tours around Stanley Park. There's also a bus system in Stanley Park. Yeah. I don't know if that's part of the city bus. It might be. So if you did want to do the whole thing and you want to go from the aquarium all the way to the back, because it's a big park, you could do the bus system. But we just did a little walk.
If anybody gets motion sick, by the way, I apologize. It's our cat shaking the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Shaking the camera. But yeah, it was a super pretty day. It was really, really pretty.
Yeah, it was really nice. They chased some Canadian geese. We went in, there's some, I wrote down the name of it, Stanley Bar and Grill. Yeah. Kind of in the middle.
Go there.
Really nice. We had already eaten lunch, at Tim Hortons, but we got dessert. here's a picture. It was pretty. We had some poutine. I think it was duck poutine.
Yeah, it was duck poutine.
I'll put a menu in here. A little bit pricey, but like it's sit down meal in the middle of the park. Especially on a nice day, there's outdoor and indoor seating.
Outside balcony facing the park, so you're just staring at the park, and some people are having tea. Oh, we're back and less shaky.
Back. Yes.
So anyway, yeah, it was a really, really nice view of the park and some good food. Some good food. With
good drinks. I think they had
not a beer.
Probably a local beer.
I don't know.
That sounds right.
And our son had tea.
And you could see from one spot you could see the seaplanes coming in, and you could see the Wonder that was still docked at the dock.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. And then there's a playground. I looked it up. I think it's the Rose Garden Playground. Kids are a little bit old for that, but they were pretty good. They needed to run around, and they stay out of the way of the little ones.
It's like having dogs.
Real well. Even the older dogs. So I guess that's about it for Stanley Park. We stayed there until until it was until time for dinner, and then took an Uber back to the hotel. So I looked it up, and there was a restaurant right next door to us. There was a Chinese restaurant. There's actually another one on the other side of that. Did you know that?
What?
Another Chinese restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it looked like, from the thing, it looked like there was more kid food at the one we went to. But the one we went to was a very authentic Chinese restaurant. Everybody was speaking Chinese in there.
So it's not authentic. It was just a Chinese restaurant.
It was, yeah.
It was run by very, very nice people.
Yeah, they were great. And the food was awesome.
Yeah.
You got the fried noodles. I didn't take a picture when it first came out, but it was like this huge box of fried noodles. And I got the the fried chicken, fried rice with chicken. And Andrew got some sort of hot pot or something. It looked really good. It was authentic, like I said, but our youngest doesn't, she's a particular eater. And so she tried some chicken, but it was supposed to be like chicken nuggets, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was good, but it was in a sauce she didn't like. So.
Yeah.
There's also, by the way, a Subway in walking distance from the hotel.
It was farther than Tim Hortons. And he walked to the Subway and got her a sandwich. After all the rest of us ate. Was it farther than Tim Hortons?
Yeah, it was definitely farther than Tim Hortons. But,
so he did that while we just, started the bedtime routine stuff.
That being said, I love the Chinese restaurant. It's a family style kind of place. So it's one of those things where they bring you, like you order one thing, and they bring it to you, and then they pass out little plates and you do it. So most people, like a family of 4, probably just orders 2 entrees and shares it. Yeah. And so we ordered 4 entrees because we didn't know, and they couldn't really explain this thing to us. So the weird looks we got from the waitress.
I have the name of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird looks we got from the waitress were great. She's like, "Are you sure you want to eat all this food?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it's a ton of food.
It was called Happy Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure that was the name of it. And then, the airport was really like a few minute drive away in the morning. I think we scheduled do they have a shuttle?
Well, it was the hotel's shuttle that we scheduled.
Oh, okay. That's right. We scheduled the hotel shuttle. So that was really convenient in the morning, even though it was pretty far from downtown and Stanley Park and things. But that was nice.
Yeah, if you gotta leave early, it's kind of the best option.
Yeah. And then, because we flew straight from Vancouver to Houston. Was it United we flew? We purchased something on the way back. I think it was their tapas box. I don't know. Just as a snack. I took a picture of that, so I was going to put it in here. Yeah. I'm always curious if when I go to order something, what does this actually look like? What am I getting when I order this from the airline? So that's why I took a picture of that. So all in all, that one was a good day, even though we were tired from the cruise and there was a little motion sickness going on, and
disembarkment syndrome where you get off.
Oh yeah, and then this boat was still rocking for all of us. But that was a good enjoying Stanley Park is a good kind of chill.
Yeah,
because you can walk around a little, you can walk around a lot, you can.
Truth be told, if your vacation time allows it, that's kind of your best option. Is like to have a day because the city is really pretty.
Yeah, there's still a lot more we could have explored there.
So we did it like you do a vacation without a cruise, but it's one of those things where definitely. How we did it was we flew in and then we had a full day before we got on the cruise to explore the city, and then we got off, same thing what we just told you. So definitely worth. Plus, I mean, that sounds like a nightmare of going off of the boat onto the cab to the airport and then flying. Sounds exhausting. If you got to do it, you got to do it. But if you don't have to do it, don't do it.
We tried not to have to fly on the day that we left the ship. Yeah. And it was nice to see a little bit more of Vancouver. So.
Yeah.
So anything else for that day?
No.
All right. So remember.
So remember, tomorrow is just a dream away.